How can one content idea help you populate your entire marketing funnel? Stay tuned because in this episode, I'm sharing how you can repurpose content specifically for your marketing and sales funnel to maximize the impact your content has on your business. You're listening to the Content 10x podcast, where it's all about content repurposing. I'm Amy Woods and I'm here to help you maximize your content and find smart ways to get your message in front of more of the right people, whilst also saving time. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Content 10x podcast. I'm your host, Amy Woods, founder of Content 10x, and in this episode, I'm talking to you all about the different types of content that you should create for each stage of your marketing funnel and how you can repurpose your content to ensure you're filling your funnel whilst saving you time, effort, and boosting the return on investment from your content. Now, the marketing funnel is one of the most helpful concepts to think about when it comes to your content marketing strategy. It gives you a clear way to visualize how your content speaks to potential clients, but it also allows you to consider where they are on their journey from not knowing who you are at all to understanding your business to buying your products or investing in your services. So knowing this can help you work out what your potential clients need next to help them on their way to making a buying decision. So different types of content work best at different stages of the marketing funnel. One piece of content is going to rarely meet every requirement across the funnel, and nor do you necessarily want it to, because you want to make sure that multiple pieces of content come together nicely to create a journey that leads people from the top down to the bottom. And guess what? Content repurposing can help you to do this. Now, every business's marketing funnel will look different when you get to a granular level with it, but on the surface, the theory is pretty much always the same. And if you want to visually see this concept of a marketing funnel, which I think really helps, then head to content10x.com/208. That's the blog post on this topic, and we share lots of graphics and really bring this funnel to life. So that's content10x.com/208. So let's talk high level for a second, and then I'll share what the best type of content is for each stage and how repurposing can play a time-saving part in creating all that great lead-generating content. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the concept, the marketing funnel looks like an upside down cone. The idea is that lots of people will see all of your content at the very top of the funnel, and at the bottom of the funnel are those people who buy from you. So there's less people as the funnel moves along, but ultimately it's the people who buy from you that are at the bottom of the funnel. So as you guide people through your marketing funnel, it will help weed out those people who aren't your ideal clients and persuade those who are to move down to the next stage, resulting in them actually becoming a client. And it's absolutely fine that some people will stay where they are and won't move from a certain stage in the funnel. But of course, you have to make sure that there are enough people who are moving through the funnel to keep you in business. So to come through and purchase from you and keep your business going. So the marketing funnel is broken down into three sections: the top, the middle and the bottom. And within these there are different stages. Now there are different definitions and terminology out there as to what those stages specifically are called. They're all basically meaning the same thing. And I'll share what I think is the most common and what I think will relate the most to you and what we're all trying to do with our content and our content marketing efforts. So at the very top of the funnel, we have the awareness stage. This is where you use content to reach people and educate them about your specialist subject, your industry, about what you want to be known for. So here you're being super helpful and providing information. So for me, this looks like providing helpful information about content repurposing in the form of blog posts and podcasts just like this one, and social media content too. Because basically the awareness stage, you want to be getting information out there that hooks people's attention and gets them interested about your topic. And often this is about raising awareness of a problem as well. So this might be helpful how-to blog posts or tutorial videos on YouTube, podcast interviews with industry leaders. It could be social media posts sharing your thoughts and opinions and eye-catching and informative infographics, or even going more B2B with webinars and white papers that establish your authority on a topic. All of this top of funnel content helps people understand the problems they may have and how to solve them. Hence why it's called the awareness stage. It raises awareness. People go from not knowing you to being aware of you, and they go from potentially not knowing a problem exists to knowing it exists. So you are raising awareness with this content. Now you may be thinking, do you have to create a lot of awareness content? Now I'd argue that you do, as in 1 or 2 blog posts, 1 or 2 webinars probably won't cut it. But as always, you need to aim for quality over quantity. And it's possible with just 1 piece of weekly content and a solid repurposing strategy to be creating lots of great awareness content. So say you create 1 video each week and you repurpose that video into a blog post, into a podcast episode maybe, and into social media content. Now that could be more than enough to get your thoughts out there, establishing your point of view on a particular topic every week, on something that you want to raise awareness of and be known for. So it can help you to establish yourself as a leader in that subject, and it can really raise the profile of a potential issue that your clients may have. And it's also setting the foundation for more content to populate your marketing funnel. So let's move on to the next stage. The middle of the funnel is made up of 2 stages. So first, interest, and then consideration. So this middle of the funnel, interest and consideration. So interest leads on from awareness. At this stage, people know about the problem, not necessarily your business yet, and they're interested in finding out more about how they can solve it. This naturally leads to the consideration stage because people will start to consider solutions to that problem. The best type of content for this middle of funnel stage is content that builds trust. You've already got your potential clients on board with the issues that you're going to fix, so you need to convince them that you're the solution. But we're doing this with extra helpful information at this stage. So content marketing isn't about the hard sell, it's about nurturing leads, and it's taking a relationship first approach. So the best type of content to create for this part of the funnel is content that digs a bit deeper into that top of funnel content. So often you'll see this as email newsletters, case studies, they can be great, industry articles, webinars. This stage of the funnel, it's about relationships and authority. So I just mentioned case studies. They are really important, and if you want help repurposing those to maximize their value, then check out episode 121 where I explain my top tips for getting the most out of your case studies. So it's called How Storytelling and Repurposing Can 10x Case Studies, content10x.com/121. So at this stage, you could consider repurposing content that you created for the awareness stage into more in-depth content for this middle of funnel stage, or you could start with the middle of funnel content. So create that more detailed and in-depth content first, and then repurpose that content into your top of funnel awareness content. Hey, just a little break from this podcast episode to ask you a question. Would you like one single place that you can go to that provides you with everything you need to be able to implement the best practices in content repurposing for your video content, your podcast episodes, and your social media content today? To help you get more value from the content that you create, get more time back, and help you reach more people than you ever thought possible. If so, then you are going to love the Content 10x Toolkit. The toolkit is full of video tutorials, templates, checklists, swipe files, step-by-step guides and more that shows you how to repurpose your content in the best ways possible today. No more Googling, no more figuring it out yourself. We provide you with everything that you need to become a content repurposing pro. If this sounds like something that would interest you, then go check out the Content 10x Toolkit at content10x.com/toolkit. Okay, and back to this week's episode. Now, changing the angle and format are really easy ways to transform a piece of content into something brand new. So say you created a podcast episode for the awareness stage that could become an email summarising the key takeaways and sharing your afterthoughts and really drilling down into that relationship you have with your client in the middle of the funnel. Or thinking more broadly, if you have social media posts, so let's say you're posting insightful posts to LinkedIn and they gain a lot of traction and stir up some interesting thoughts and opinions, you could compile those thoughts and opinions and what was happening on LinkedIn and create a white paper. Now, this would show just how much of an expert you are on the topic and how much you understand your audience, because it's based on those interactions with your audience at the top of the funnel. And you could then repurpose that into an email and send it to all of your potential clients, or create some kind of free download. Now, as I mentioned, you could start in the middle with your repurposing too. So create a white paper first and then work out how you can repurpose that middle of funnel content into top of funnel. So in this example, that will be turning that more detailed white paper into more of an awareness driven blog post or video or podcast episode. So turning it into some social media content as well. So working on that middle of funnel content first and then looking at how you can repurpose into top of funnel. And remember what I always say, if you listen to the Content 10X podcast, you'll hear me say this an awful lot, which is that repurposing starts in the planning phase. It shouldn't be an afterthought. So think about your funnel and think about the first piece of content, which may be middle or even top or even bottom of funnel. And then how are you going to repurpose that for the other stages of the funnel? Now, moving on, once you've got your potential clients aware of their problems and thinking about solutions, you move down to the final stage, so the bottom of funnel. And here we have the decision making and purchase stage. So we split this bottom of funnel down into decision making and purchase stage. This is where you get potential clients to look to you as the solution. So where you really differentiate from your competitors. Why you is what we want to answer in the bottom of the funnel. So give them an incentive to buy from you. The best content to create at this stage is really high value content. So it's usually things like detailed product pages, offer pages on your website which show a focus on your expertise and what you're offering and ultimately get people to say yes to you. More detailed case studies as well can be really good. And in content terms, you should be thinking about writing product pages, creating sales videos that have strong calls to action and offer things like free trials, consultation calls, or whatever it is relevant to your business that helps people get a real taste of what you do. This kind of content is brilliant for the idea generation stage of your content marketing strategy. I always say, as I just said, that create content with repurposing in mind. And the best thing is, if you get your content ideas from the bottom of the marketing funnel and use them to create top of funnel content, you'll ultimately always be thinking about how to move people from the top down to the bottom. It will also help you create content like long form blog posts and sales pages, which, if written correctly, can actually move people through each stage from awareness to purchase in one go. So to recap, get your content ideas from the bottom of the funnel, use them to create lots of content at the top or the middle, and repurpose and refine to help move people through from the top to the middle to the bottom. Now, I really recommend doing a content audit as well. So look right now at your content and see how much of it is top of funnel awareness content, how much of it is middle of funnel interest content and consideration content, and how much is bottom of the funnel, so decision making and purchase content. Do that audit and just see, because usually people realise that they've gone way too heavy on one aspect of the funnel and it's time to diversify. So some people realise they have loads and loads of top of funnel content, but they don't actually have much for the middle or the bottom, or some people are just too heavy on the bottom and actually don't have anything to get people aware in the first place, or don't have enough. So do that audit and see how much content you have in different stages of the funnel, and then get planning and then get repurposing repurposing. So then plan those bigger pieces of content that could sit potentially more in the middle of the funnel, and then work out how you can repurpose to get more top of funnel content and to get more bottom of funnel content, or whatever works for you. So I hope this has been really, really useful and given you some food for thought, and you can see now how you can use your repurposing to help you effectively and efficiently populate your marketing funnel. And hopefully I've given you plenty of ideas. So thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Content 10X podcast. As always, I really, really do appreciate it. If you want any help with your content repurposing, then at Content 10X, we are a content repurposing agency. We offer a fully done for you content repurposing service to businesses with podcast and audio content. So do get in touch if you'd like some help. If you're more of a do-it-yourself kind of person, then please do go check out my book, Content 10X, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You will find it if you search for Content 10X. It is the ultimate guide to repurposing every type of content. And we also have a toolkit as well. So a toolkit with lots of templates and checklists and swipe files and video tutorials to show you how to repurpose as well. So do check all of that out to help you on your repurposing journey. So all that's left to say is thank you so much for listening to this week's episode, and I will catch you in the next one.